as an office. You know how much it costs to get a billboard on that building per year? It is between $500,000 and $3 million per year, depending on which direction you're facing. I mean, if you're talking like the Yahoo sign right on front, that's a couple mil a year. That's pretty high rent for a billboard.
Wow.
So we've now turned on to 42nd Street. This is one of the major thoroughfares. You can see this is Mary Poppins over here on the left. In the New Amsterdam Theater, which is an old Broadway theater. That's where the Ziegfeld Follies used to be back in the 20s. That was in the New Amsterdam Theater. The Disney Corporation that bought it and revamped it, and that's where the Lion King
We're on the bus seeing our tour.
You got Madame Tussauds over here. There's all kinds of theaters and that sort of thing down on 42nd Street. Also of interest,
this is Times Square.
Is the AMC movie theater over here on the left that we're coming by, the AMC 25s. That is the Empire Theater. That building, about 10 to 12 years ago, used to be about 200 feet that way. They were going to put Madame Tussauds there where that building once stood, and the AMC company or whoever it was said, no, we like that building. Can we, like, move it? And so they put it on rails and moved it 200 feet down the street. The things they do. Well, I mean, they've just recently started, you know, sort of preserving buildings around here. We'll see all kinds of great instances of historical buildings that are no longer there.
Sean, are we going by Trump Tower? Yes, we are. Okay.
Yes, we are. We're going by a couple of Trump properties, but the one from The Apprentice and the major one that you're probably thinking of, yes, is on 5th Avenue. We'll go right by it.
I know. I will.
And this sort of unfortunate looking building over here to the 45th. So you'll see more of them on the right there. There's a boatload. Those are the two main streets. And then here on 46th, on the left, is a place called Restaurant Row. A ton of restaurants down there, and they're all sort of timed for the theater. So go in there at, 6:37, they're mobbed, go in at 8:30, it's dead. And they make sure to get everyone out of there before the curtain's up. So that's definitely a good thing. So again, there's still going to be more and more theaters on the right. Now I was telling about how the Broadway theaters aren't on Broadway, the street. What the term Broadway refers to, it's simply a description of the size of the theater. A theater of 500 seats or more is a Broadway theater. Doesn't matter where it is.
499.
Well, 499. Yes, it's
499.
This is a brand new center that opened up about 2003. You'll be able to see from various places the two, two buildings, two spires sticking up. It's almost on new twin towers. They were designed before September 11th, but it's about 50 stories each, glass skyscrapers coming out of it.
Trump International.
And it's also where CNN's New York studios are. In the Time Warner Center. There's a jazz center up here on the left.
Lincoln Center.
And they do all kinds of fun things. Out in the summer, they'll have
all the arts and everything take place.
Where the fountain is, they'll sort of cover that up and put like a dance floor out there. And they'll do like dance lessons and an evening of dancing, if you will, out in the square at Lincoln Center. It's really nice out in the summer. My girlfriend and I went swing dancing. We were awful.
What's a whole bunch of ballet?
Oh God, were we bad? I mean, like we were probably the worst people out there. We are not coordinated. Or I'm sorry, not Lincoln Center, Rockefeller Center. Yeah, it's right.
You can see that's the
right here where you guys
on the top of the church building.
Your guys' to use a really, appropriate English term.
Yeah. Wait, is that the top? Oh, it is.
Did you saw the statue?
And as I was saying, this is Broadway, which runs the entire length of the city, and the reason you can, as we sort of bear right here, you'll see one of the original subway entrances, which is kind of cool, the 72nd Street station of the one train. And it's a beautiful little building. We'll see another one of those down in the southern section, but you'll see it as we go to the right.
What do you say?
Also, as we make the left here, you'll notice the building, it's directly in front of us now, and it's covered in scaffolding, which is fairly unfortunate, I should say. It's called the Ansonia Building. Sort of tragic history of the building, which is somewhat unfortunate given that it's a beautiful building, and it was certainly very unfortunate.
That's where John Lennon was shot.
Right there by the
Lennon.
As he walked out his door. Can't see it very well, but...
Dirty winkles.
So what we are going to do, Kenny's going to...
Wait, and what's the special next time, Rachel?
Well, it's a John Lennon thing because he did that, but you know, I don't
Oh, sorry. Oh, whoops, I'm recording. Nothing. This is Central Park, Mom?
Okay. Take it off, get a picture in front of Strawberry Fields. Oh, that's good.
That's all good. Yep. This is Central Park. It's really bright outside, so you can't really see it very well. But it is freezing snow everywhere. That's really nice. And there's Mom with some friends that we met. Bye.
Wow, that's a... I want to remind everyone, 2 inches of snow. There's actually been people who've been upset because something called alternate side parking has still been in effect this week. And what that means is you have to move your car from the side of the street at certain times of the week so that they can clean and plow. And people have been like blocked in and can't move and gotten ticketed. So Mayor Mike has had some people yelling at him for that.
History, if you can see the
So this is
sign.
all the Museum of Natural History over here. Theodore Teens after his death. Temples and things are going to be destroyed by the rising waters of the dam. Can people help us?
This is
And
the
the
Metropolitan
government of the United States was
Museum
instrumental in giving money to help them save these things. And as a gift of thanks, the Egyptian government
Not
gave
really
one of
on
the
a
temples
very
to the United States. And they said, well,
looking view
the Met's the best place for it.
But that is it, and that's what you're looking at. Oh. No. I don't know, but
Check,
it's 2
check,
miles.
check. Okay, this is much
something
better.
wide and long.
It's 800 and something acres.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Accident.
A walking distance you wouldn't want to. We're up about, what is this, 84th Street? Yeah, you would want to take the subway. You can either take I think it's the B or C train along the west side, and
Okay,
then you
here it is.
cut across the park. And you guys are right next to the B. So you could take the B and then you end up on the west side of the park and walk through the park and you're here. Otherwise, the 4, 5, 6 trains are at Lexington Avenue, a couple blocks
Yeah.
that way.
There, that's a
Taxi
better
would
deal.
be
The Metropolitan Museum.
$15. It depends on traffic. 20. I don't take taxis much either.
Did he say it's the best museum in
Well, he
the
just
Western Hemisphere?
Yeah.
Double
you
check.
See it.
I would imagine they would be, but I would recommend you
It's the
double
most
check.
popular museum in the Western
The
Hemisphere.
Met actually just went through a beautiful restoration of the facade. So I mean, the front here is just gorgeous, and they just polished it up. They took the scaffolding down less than a year ago.
Silly mother.
So
I'm sorry.
it's absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, my favorite part of I would recommend it if you go to the Met, go to the American wing. The wing of American art has all kinds of great Hudson River school painters, the beautiful landscapes of the Hudson River Valley and other areas. And then also some of those the famous painting of George Washington crossing the Delaware. You will be shocked how enormous that painting is. It takes up like the entire wall. Athletic
That
activities are
building,
very much
it's made out
encouraged
of
these days.
triangles
And all the playgrounds you see in there are
Pretty
a
interesting
creation
looking.
of a gentleman named Robert Moses, who was the Parks and Lands Commissioner
Mom, I'm
during the
getting-
40s and 50s,
good.
at the end of the LaGuardia administration. And Robert Moses is to this day, he's a controversial figure in the history of New York for multiple reasons. One is he took the parks and, to a large degree, spruced them up and refurbished them. And one of the reasons Central Park is so nice today is because of Robert Moses. But he also did things like adding playgrounds
Mom's here.
and things like that. But the other things that Moses is controversial for is trying to make New York City automobile friendly. So all the highways around and most of the bridges and things like that, and the Parks Department.
That was the armory right before Central Park was built, and it was a building for the Civil War.
So this is now down towards,
Wait, I saw it.
and they have that song before, like money, 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 money. That comes on before it. And then it's always something really sort of stupid and worthless. Like he'll be like, "Did you hear that story about how there's no
Really
recess at some
get it,
schools?
but-
That's crazy. Kids need recess. I'm Donald Trump."
What is this called, Mom? St. Patrick's Catholic Cathedral. Patrick's Cathedral. Catholic Cathedral. No. Go look at it. Okay, I'm gonna put it back. Are you good? I take it that's St. Patrick?
That says something else. It says St. Peter.
Or maybe it is St. Peter's. I don't know. What is it?
It says St. Peter's.
That's St. Peter. Right there.
Asking you to pray.
Are we done? What's this thing? Okay, everything's so designed and so
it's
immaculate.
And did you hear him that they built this? He said, "What are you doing? This is all farmland up here. What are you doing building a church up there?"
Yeah, they said that the people who got the land long ago early, in the long run, made millions.
Yeah, you see a hole up there.
Yep. Let's see a picture of us. Just a second.
We don't mean to scare you. Brady and I are having fun.
Yeah, we're having lots of fun. We're at the Catholic Church right now, and it's really, really pretty.
It's very, very cool.
Okay, bye.
Between them would be called the Channel Gardens. France.
Rockefeller Center? This is Rockefeller Center.
That building right there is GE
It goes
building,
from
formerly the
50th
RCA building.
Street all the way to 47th
Centerpiece
Street.
building
It takes
of
up like
Rockefeller
3
Center.
whole
There's
blocks.
a wonderful observation deck.
And he said it's supposed to be like a
It's
city
indoors
within
and
a city.
outdoors. It has timed tickets, so you don't have to stand in the
A lot
line.
of
Not that you
office
guys are here.
buildings.
So if you see the purple flags flying, that's probably an NYU building.
Magazine.
Public schools, that sort of thing. Well, for one, we're in more business areas. These aren't as much residential areas, so the schools aren't near here necessarily. My best examples are once you get out in the boroughs, they're just like any other school. I live right across from a public school, middle school, and they're just scattered about. It's just these areas aren't really residential, so there's not as much need for schools here.
Oh wow, it's so much bigger there.
But if you go up, towards more residential areas like Harlem or even on the Upper East Side, you'll see schools scattered around, and sometimes they're kind of cleverly disguised and you don't notice them as much.
One on 44 is about the same place in our hotel.
It's where they were filming that Will Smith movie I was talking about earlier. Washington Square Park has a sort of,
Little row houses.
not really sordid, but
Little
haunted history, if you will. There's about 25,000 people buried in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
tied to the grill in that big.
Oh, is there a strike on the front of the crew? That's hysterical.
Mom, did you say this is Chinatown?
Yeah, this is Chinatown right now.
Canal Street is always
See all the
busy.
China symbols?
Hold on. There we go. Canal Street is always busy because on one end of Canal Street is the Manhattan Bridge, and on the other end is the Holland Tunnel. So it's always busy down here. And plus, Chinatown is a big, area for loading and unloading of trucks, which of course creates havoc. Because, like I said, there's no alleys anywhere, so you just gotta load and unload your wares on the street.
What subway did you take to get back to
To get here, you can take the end
Or did it say Little China?
from where you guys are.
See it? Little China.
Probably want to go.
It's gifts and souvenirs.
You're right in the middle of those two lines. So you can either get on the BDFB train where you guys are and transfer,
Yeah.
for instance, at 34th Street to the MQRW. Just look at a map. It's not too hard. Canal Street is a big station. There's a lot of trains that come through here. It's a big transfer station, so there's plenty of ways to get here.
Little China.
And if you look over on the left, you'll see on the next street will be the old, one of the old Chinese banks. And you can see it's built in this sort of Chinese pagoda style, but like 6 stories. Different economy down here. There's even a bus that's run out of Chinatown up to Boston and down to Baltimore. It's like 15 bucks. So it's a regular, coach bus, just like this one. And it's just, rather than going into the Port Authority, you get dropped off on Canal Street. Are you kidding? That's the best deal in town. My favorite place is a place called Bohan. It's tough to find. It's sort of invasive. Yeah, Starlight City did, but I think these guys just got purchased too. This is a debate over, how do we keep affordable housing in Manhattan? Because, as we're talking about, the rents get so ridiculous. Even up in Harlem, the rents are going up. Rents go up everywhere. So there's a debate about, how do we keep affordable housing like these in Manhattan? And these are sort of low to middle income housing. So it's both. It's not just low end housing. It's middle income housing as well.
Those are all.
They're named for Al Smith, the former governor of New York, and he actually used to live right where these buildings are. So that's why they're named after him. But he was a famous reformer.
New York from the pier. We're getting ready to load our ferry onto to go see the Statue of Liberty. We just went into like a mall area to go eat.
Here comes Daddy's gonna step in front of the camera.
Ah! That's gonna be on tape. The camera's gonna wiggle now.
And it'll be moved back to the site once they get the
Okay, Mom,
memorial.
say what
set up.
this?
This
It
building
is
over here is
a
cool, the Citibank.
statue that was
See how the door says first class?
Twin Towers.
And this one
And
up
it
here
was
says
moved
cabin
there,
class.
and it will be moved back
That's
when
because,
the twin
this
the
was the old-
towers
one of the
are
old,
what they're gonna-
Oh my, you're very close. Say hi
Yeah, I know, right?
to another one of us. Yeah. We're going into the Trinity Church.
Yep.
This is the third one because the other two have been
And we're going
burned
to
down.
where we're going to.
The World
World
Trade
Trade
Center site. Bye. Okay, I'm flipping you, everyone around. Try to get some pictures of these buildings. They're so tall. Okay, we're following our tour guide. This is Alexander Hamilton's grave. I'm learning about him in history, so I thought it was pretty neat to see his grave. He is buried at the Trinity Church Cemetery. It's really snowy, and I'll zoom in on his name one more time. There's a lot of graves, and then there's... Oh! Mom! I'm zooming in on ya! Wave! Bye, Mom. Okay, we're gonna go inside. This is Wall Street and Broadway. Two famous streets. Thought I'd just quickly show that one again.
I'm here.
Here's some Wall Street, Broadway. Goodbye. New York Stock Exchange? I don't know. What?
Yeah, back in
We're at the World Trade Center site. They've put up a whole bunch of memorial pictures. What are they?
In remembering 9/11. Images from the archives of here in New York. The next trip, he said, is London.
That's a list of everyone that helped with the tragedy. Look at all those names. They go on forever. Go over here, Mom.
Probably can't see.
Can't see very well, but there's a whole bunch of construction going on.
Oh, look, Brady.
They fenced it off. This is where they used to stand. The buildings above them. If I get too close and it gets to the mesh part. This is what, Mom? A lobby
subway.
of a subway. This is probably destroyed.
That's been rebuilt.
Rebuilt. It was probably destroyed when the towers were hit. Now there's memory pictures and a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I can't really see it, but these are just pictures. I do like that one though. Oh, my battery's low, Mom. Memorials from 9/11. This is the church where a lot of the firefighters came after they were helping over across the street at the World Trade Centers. Yeah.
On the edge.
St. Paul's G. We're in Rockefeller Center, G building.
I think that's so
And
cool.
then that's Rockefeller Center.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
What is the building for?
I don't know, G. We'll
And then
ask,
over
we'll
here-
ask Dad when we get
And
home.
then
He knows
over
everything.
here's a bunch of people skating. There's a Rockefeller skate rink. It is pretty expensive to skate here.
About $750.
Yeah, I think so. Me and Mom are good just looking. It's pretty freezing outside. We don't need to skate much more.
I know we'll fall down and break our bones.
There's a golden statue and they light up the pond.
We're gonna go out and walk around now.
Bye. We're sitting in the sun. Finally found a semi-warm spot to go. Just looking at all the scenery. There's Mom. Wave, Mom. Wave. Hi, Mom. Yay, warm spot for us. It's freezing outside, so when we find a warm spot, it's good to sit down. Here we are at Radio City. We haven't gone inside yet, but it's a pretty neat building. What is it, Mama?
Radio City Music Hall. Hey.
Okay, on we go. We're headed to Hairspray. Bye. We're in Times Square. We just got out of the play Hairspray. It was amazing.
And Gershwin. We're on Gershwin Way. That's where Wicked was.
Wicked Theater.
Gershwin and Broadway, Braid.
There's Wicked.
What's that?
Okay, goodbye. What?
Oh, they're your MTV star, Braid.
Yay!
Part of a live taping from Comedy Central. We're getting a free ticket to the Broadway Comedy Club.
Don't forget.
Ferris wheel inside of Toys R Us.
What one were you in yesterday night?
I came yesterday before we went to Wicked with a few other people from our group. This Toys R Us is 3 stories, all full of toys, and a giant Ferris wheel.
Now we're gonna go eat.
Yep, eat.
Let's say right in the middle of it all.
Here is New York. Big, tall buildings. And then there is the New York Manhattan Temple. Let's zoom in on the sign.
And down there, so you can see the big star.
It was dedicated in 2004. And the church is on the 3rd story, and we just went to church there.